it's a measuring stick game, Pat, coming up here on Sunday at Philadelphia Lincoln Financial Field. It's a measuring stick game, and the Cowboys are going to need their horses. And there were a couple players who were out. Can you kind of give us an update on the injury report from yesterday?
Yeah, we'll just do a quick rundown.
Yep.
Wednesday has become the Cowboys' veteran rest day, so had several veterans resting. Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, Jonathan Hankins, DeMarcus Lawrence, Jordan Lewis, and Zach Martin. They were all resting on yesterday. Michael Gallup popped up with an illness. He did not participate. I'm told he's expected to play on Sunday as long as he continues to improve over the rest of this week. If he doesn't, Jalen Tolbert's season, nothing wrong with that at all. Then, of course, the headliner, which would be Chuma Edoga and Tyron Smith. Now, Chuma suffered, thankfully, a low ankle sprain in the win over the Rams. Not a high ankle sprain, so he has a good chance of playing this Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. He was limited yesterday on Wednesday, so good news for him. Tyron Smith did not participate. He was with the rehab group. That was expected, but Jerry Jones told 105.3 The Fan on Tuesday morning that there's a great likelihood that both will take the field on Sunday. We'll see how that goes. Now, it could be that Mike McCarthy is of the same mindset, and he's, giving Tyron that extra rest. But today being Thursday, this is going to be a key day to try to figure out what Tyron's trajectory is going to be. Are they going to have him limited today? Is he DNP again today with maybe limited tomorrow, kind of ramping him up later in the week? We will see. So kind of what you were saying before I tapped in, I mean, this is going to be whether it be Tyron Smith or Chuma Edoga, is going to be a strong task to try to contain the edges of that defensive line in Philadelphia, because those they got horses too and they're ready to play.
Well, let me just stay there then. Talk about the Philadelphia game. You guys got a chance to speak with a lot of players in there, one including J-Ron Curse, who you mentioned he was out with the toe. Doesn't seem like, according to from his interview, that he's worried about it. It seems like he's going to play. But real quick, for the toe situation, you feel like he's going to play in this game, or a little bit concerned there?
Well, based on the conversation I had with him in the locker room, and that was prior to the injury report coming out, you wouldn't have thought there was anything wrong with J-Ron Curse at all. I mean, he is locked in and focused. And, normally with J-Ron Curse, particularly coming off of a win, he's flashing the pearly whites. He's talkative. He's fun, but he's intense at the same time. There was no, flashing of the pearly whites. There was no smiling. There was no jovialness. There was none of that. It was just this dude. I've not seen him like this season. I will go ahead and just tell you right now. I've just not seen him like this. He's just locked in. And I asked him about, AJ. Well, they asked about AJ Brown, obviously, and then I was like, hey, well, based on your role, what's the challenge with Dallas Goedert? What are the big challenges with Dallas Goedert? And he was just like, you know what, man, I'm not even with the talking right now. I'm just ready to get out there and get it on, end quote. So that's the tone that's in the locker room right now. And I think for the most part, these guys, I don't want to say learned the lesson, but yeah, let's just go ahead and say it. I think they learned the lesson from
San Fran.
From San Fran in the capacity of, you understand the magnitude of the game, but don't OD on the magnitude of the game. Mm-hmm. You still have to go out there and execute and play well. You can't get too much in your head like they did in San Fran, because going into San Fran, obviously, J-Ron was one of those players as well who was basically like, yeah, this is what we've been looking forward to. Leighton Vander Esch, I've had this circled since January. There's none of that talk right now. All this talk in the locker room right now is it time yet? Is it go time yet? We're ready to get up there. And then you start asking these guys about, some of the challenges, and they'll give you the generic answers. Yeah, A.J. Brown's a great receiver, et cetera, et cetera. But let's go play some football, right? So even Dak Prescott's comment, funny comment about poor honey on me. And, yeah, that made the engagement memes and all that and, those tweets, because that's what those farmers are going to do. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the crux of the comment, he basically called the Eagles the bear, and he, quote, unquote, called him a great opponent. And he said, poor honey on me, as in, I'm not running from this fight. Same thing Tony Pollard said yesterday. He was like, we're not running from this fight. He said, all, respect to the Eagles and what they're doing. They're 7-1 and they're rolling. But he was like, we're not running from this. We got to go up there and we got to go through them. So, yeah, I love that energy. Let's go.
Yeah, it's part of me wants some of them to just be on some, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Because y'all, not, when I say y'all, not you, but other reporters are going to pick and prod and try to get some soundbite out of them. And these guys, I think, like you said, learned their lesson from San Fran in the sense of, yes, we understand this is a big game. But like you said, we don't need to OD on that, and neither do you guys, not you, but them, need to OD on that. We all know how big this is to go up there to get a victory. And that's why I said it's kind of that measuring stick, that next test for the Cowboys that they're going to see here a whole lot after the bye week.
100%. And there were a couple of fans a couple of days ago that tweeted me. I didn't respond to them because I just kind of shook my head because it's like, okay, I'll let you have that. And basically the tweets were, no, see, this game is the entire season. No, it's not. See, you're ODing. You're ODing. It's not. Now, I didn't know a way to frame it that it wouldn't be taken wrong on Twitter because
it's Twitter.
On Twitter. So let me say it verbally so ladies and gentlemen can hear my tone. This game is not the end all be all for this season. This is week 9 of a 17-week season plus playoffs. This is not the end all be all. Now, it's also true that this game will largely help determine who wins the NFC East, playoff seeding down the road. So, yes, this is a midterm for the Cowboys.
There you go.
They flunked the first test, but this is, in fact, the midterm. Now, if for whatever reason they fail the midterm, which I don't believe they will, but if they fail this midterm, then they have one final shot, which is the final exam. But that is to say that what happens in this game, good or bad, is going to help largely determine how difficult the task will be in passing the final exam, but it doesn't fail the class. So that goes back to what we're talking about, Steele, and while we love to hear what J-Ron is saying and learning lessons from the San Francisco game, is understand the magnitude of this being the midterm. Study for it like it's the midterm, but don't OD on it and get yourself all worked up to the point where you can't perform well because you were so nervous and anxious going in. So, yeah, this is not the season in week 9, but it damn sure will help determine how this season goes.
That is the Injury Spotlight presented by OSMI. OSMI provides arthroscopic and robotic-assisted orthopedic surgery, foot and ankle surgery, sports medicine, physical therapy, and a ton more. Their team of orthopedic specialists have offices in Fort Worth, Decatur, and Mansfield to provide state-of-the-art orthopedic care to the North Texas area. When it comes to medical care, you and your loved ones deserve the best possible experience. So schedule your hassle-free appointment today at osmifw.com.